Greetings and salutations, YouTubers and malefactors. So I'm riding a new bike home tonight. Trying to get everything set up so I can take it home. I'll do a walk around here a bit later. That's good enough for now. So you're like, what did he bring? Well, obviously it's blue. Yeah, it's blue. And it's quiet. So, it's gonna sound a bit like the, Top Gear UK video where they were talking about the Scirocco, doing the joke about when the smart people started buying gold, you bought silver. This is a 2020 WR250R. And you're thinking to yourself, alright Mike, they have the CRF 300L, the KLX 300, everyone's going to 300s, this thing's discontinued. Why? Why get a 250? And, well, a few reasons. One, out the showroom, this thing is much, I guess, better suspended. Power's about equal to a 300. And, you know, it has a better aftermarket so far. Like, both those bikes are going to take a year or two before they get a decent aftermarket, unless they have existing interchangeable parts. So, in the WR, you have an existing aftermarket, and with it being discontinued, you might be able to scoop up some of the aftermarket parts for fairly cheap. Like, I basically have everything on order, other than an exhaust, for $600 cash. Like, all the protection, all the bells and whistles, the bling, whole 9 yards. And it'll be in probably here in the next few days, so, yeah, now there's going to be a whole series of videos of me, riding this thing out. So I chose it for the lack of weight, I chose it for the better suspension, I chose it for the available aftermarket. Quite honestly, this bike's a gas anyway. It's a lot of fun. Also, since I'm getting back into dirt riding and racing and stuff of that sort, yeah, this is actually the dual sport that can bridge that gap. So, stock, I can only, I literally roll up the showroom floor with a mile on this thing, so I can't really go nuts on it while I'm breaking in the engine. I'm one of those guys that follows the directions, especially for braking procedures. So I might keep it to the third throttle or less, do 600 miles, change oil, and then take it easy a little longer. And then we're going to go nuts on it. But even being to a third of a throttle, I'm pushing 2.5 mils on it. The bike has plenty of get up and go even from my waist. I think the aesthetic of this bike so I'm doing 60 and I'm at, a little less than half throttle. ride like on the street? Well, it feels really plush. I mean, like really plush on the street. The rear feels kind of stiff though. I think that I'm probably going to end up having to set it up for a little bit of dirt use. From what I hear, the rear suspension stock is set up with like a kind of a pogo stick effect, and the front suspension's a little under dampened. So I'll probably fiddle with the suspension settings when I can actually take this bike out and have a gas with it. Wondering how I'm going to get this thing to and from work to break it in though, because that's a 124-mile round trip. I can tell you this is not going to be the most comfortable 124 miles, but I've overlanded much more uncomfortable bikes. Oddly enough, the stock seat isn't that bad compared to the DR650 and the DRT. I think I could tolerate this for about 50-60 miles. But no, man, this thing feels nimble. We'll do a walk around here in a bit. I'm about to cut some of this video because we're taking the back roads back to the house, and it's a bit tell you what, I absolutely love this ride. It's such beautiful land out here. And I probably should have packed my microphone for this. I can't wait till the braking period's done. This thing, I can tell, has a bit of guts to it. Yeah, it's not like mind-blowing torque, but you know, for its 50, this thing definitely has a lot of poke to it. I mean, I can do 60 miles an hour at 6th gear, 3rd throttle. Not a problem. And on my CRF 250L, I've got a pretty substantial headwind today. I would have to be in 5th gear to maintain speed. This thing has enough oomph to fight the wind. Look at this beautiful land down here. I'm going to stop spoiling it with the sound of my own voice and just get to have a nice enjoyable ride through the back roads of Williamson County, Texas. Vibration on this bike is like basically non-existent. This thing is counterbalanced beautifully. I kind of shudder to think what dual sporting the WL400 would have been like. right here is about where the houses ended. The claim to fame on these subdivisions up here, like Meadow Park and stuff, there's a ton of rattlers around here. And all these gas stations are new. Man, I need to go north of my house at some point. Limberloop. This place is famous for, no, actually claiming the lives of motorists. It's a very busy subdivision where they don't have a light at. People have been clamoring for it for ages. Yeah, but bummer, there was a guy who lost his life on his bike out there not too long ago, a few years back, I guess. Mirrors are a little old school. Boy, this thing is quiet. I might spring for the exhaust at some point. Tell you what though, thing feels like a bicycle. Plugged into my community. Nah, basically I stay to myself. New garage out there. Got lots of stuff for sale. Poor bird. That's depressing. I was a little sad to see a dove go. That building is, oh, this is fine to live in. People keep on trying to turn it into like a cupcake shop. Yoga room? Yeah. Fancy here. I will say Hutto definitely has a beautiful old town downtown, like for the smaller stuff here, but I think Taylor actually has a little more character. I probably shouldn't take a motor vlogging video to talk about development. Goodness. I can smell the new burning off of this bike. The lovely smell of brake-in oil. So the type of tires that come on this thing stock are the Dunlop D605s. Not to be confused with 606s. 605s are I'd say a 50-50 tire. A little bit better than GP22s that come on the Honda products, but only marginally. The front tire I think I'm going to scrap when I start doing any real off-road. Rear tire I'm probably going to keep for a bit and see how it performs. It looks roughly equivalent to a Shinko 244 as far as like tread, spacing, depth, blocks. Turn on the camera here soon. Me and the missus are gonna go grab a sandwich. And I don't really want to moto vlog lunchtime, you know. Boy, this thing's like a bicycle though. even versus the WR400F, this thing is like a toy. Oh, it's nearly 300 pounds. Doesn't feel like it. It has a similar shape and feel to my RM, honestly. If anything, what it really reminds me of is a KDX 200 as far as the geometry goes. A harder seat, of course, but like the way that the rake, the trail, the ride, the handlebars, the foot pegs, all the positioning feels like a KDX. The motor kind of reminds me of like a XR250 a little bit. You gotta watch out for yourself. These pagers, man. This parking lot's like a gauntlet anyway. Everyone's always fighting to get in and out of these restaurants. And they can't manage to drive on the right side. Don't even pay attention to where they're going. I think everybody who drives should be forced to ride a bike for a while so they can have an appreciation of the concept of spatial awareness. I'll do a quick walk around to this thing. I know you got a little torchy, a little warm. So it's a 2020 WR. You have the passenger foot pegs, toolkit, big old lights, turn signals, which those are going pretty quick. The D605, stock exhaust. D605 front, and some really nice front suspension. I would say that's a highlight of the bike, and the aluminum frame for a dual sport. So that's a quick walk around of it. We'll get more into depth when I start breaking down all of the parts of it. Oh, have a good one, folks. Mrs. decided to take the food to go, so first thing, I head on home. Well, she knows the way home from here. Alrighty. Feels good to ride on the road again, though. Curious to see how this light handles everything when I get a chance. So the only other thing that I find a little strange about the bike is the complete lack of a fuel gauge. But that's not a problem. It has a low fuel signal, so I figure it's good for about 100 miles thereabouts. So yeah, you're not going to be scraping pegs on this bad boy, but it is nimble. to half a throttle. Not shabby, especially with stock gearing. Hopefully the weather's gonna be nice so I can get this thing fully broken in. The real test is if I'm going to be able to take it for the 64 miles on the way to work. As far as doing all of the stuff you read online about the AIS delete and servo mod and everything, those are really mods for whenever you put an aftermarket exhaust on here. Alright dude, let's not stop on the tracks. Putter here, so no one knows how to read the speed limit signs. Lord knows how many times I've gotten on this road doing 30 and a 50. Getting used to being spoiled by the DCT on the Africa Twin. But once you learn how to ride clutch, you don't really forget. This bike just practically begs to have you flat the throttle wide open. Familiar garage. And yeah, I know I need to still clean it. Oh. Damn, tell you what, this thing is a beaut.